Just quick recap from the game. You know, thought we ran the ball well and did a good job against the run, which were what we had talked about we had to get done in the last game. You guys prepared well for that week and came out of it fairly healthy other than Reese Odiambo. He broke his ankle in the game and will have surgery on Tuesday, so we'll be without him. Other than that, you know, the other guys that didn't play, those guys will be game time decisions. So UNLV, you know, 1-2 in the Mountain West Conference. They're coming off a bye week, and we have to travel. The kick time is a lot different than what we've played. You know, so it's going to be a get up, get ready, and be prepared to play right away, which, you know, I think is also exciting, you know, to be able to do that as well. And I think we have another one down the road like that. San Jose State might be as early. So, you know, this will give us a chance to work that schedule a little bit. But good football team, physical. They run the ball well. They give you some different looks on defense, and then special teams have been decent. But it really comes back to us, you know, getting some of these guys to step up that need to fill some of the roles where guys have been injured, and then getting these other guys that have played to continue to keep progressing and getting better. That's the goal. So we do that. We have a great week of prep. We'll prepare ourselves to play and go out there and hopefully play better than we played all year long. So open up for questions.
With Reese, is there, you know, is this something he might get back and play this year, or is he done for the season? And then just what do you do now at left tackle? And if you don't have Mario, then who's the next guy that you get in the lineup? Yeah,
I don't know if we'll get him back or not. You know, everybody heals differently, so I don't know. And those big guys, and you're talking about legs and all that, it takes some time. I kind of like what Florida did. You know, they had a tryout for their kickers, so maybe we'll do that. If there's any 6'6", 300-pound tackles rolling around campus that have great feet, show up today so we can get you prepped and ready. No, we got guys. We, you know, hopefully we get Mario back this week. Andres Preciado is a guy that's been playing well, and not many people know him, but he has played well. So he'll have to fill those roles. And those other guys that, you know, even guards, we have guys that can move out. Stephen Baggett can move out and play tackle if needed. So we have combinations that we've worked. It's just unfortunate. He's a good player, and not having him out there. And hopefully, you know, that we can get him back, that he's able to play. And, you know, if that's a bowl game opportunity, great. If not, you know, he does have a future in playing this game at the next level. And, you know, those are all things that we take into consideration.
With Reese, obviously, I mean, he's a senior, and I know that any time that these guys, there's not a lot of time that these guys get to play in college football, but how much more difficult is it when they are a senior and keeping your fingers crossed that maybe he can get back for a bowl game?
Yeah.
And what did he mean to that offensive line, too, because he was a real stable piece, obviously.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, Matt Miller, that happened to him. You know, we weren't able to get him back, and, you know, things happen. Guys get dinged. Unfortunately, it's where it happens. It's towards, you know, the second half of the season, and who knows? Maybe he does come back. I'm not a doctor, and I don't ever put, you know, my 2 cents on what the healing time is. DJ Harper was a guy that had an ACL and was back in 6 months. You know, they all heal differently. So I hope we can get him back, but more importantly, just get him healthy. And as far as what he means to the O-line, I mean, there's a guy that's one of our best players, best leaders, and, you know, he's not going to be out there playing for us. We'll still lead. He's at practice. I mean, all those things won't change, but, you know, it's difficult. And he's a competitor, and in your senior year, you know, a guy like that, it's frustrating. So, you know, we got to get him back and love him up like we have the rest of our guys, but, you know, that kind of puts a little bit different spin on it, you know, if you're not able to come back.
That's 3 guys, I think, now that have broken their ankle on your team this year. And there's just some other guys that have been out. I mean, 3 starters on defense. I mean, I know we've talked about the bye coming up. I know some of these guys obviously are going to miss more than 1 week. But do you just get a sense that you guys are just banged up? And I mean, these losses you keep absorbing, I mean, at what point, I mean, how many more can you take, I guess?
Well, you don't want to take any. I don't think it has to do, you know, the schedule is what it is. And, you know what, we're going to keep practicing harder. Those type of injuries, you know, it's hard to, they just happen. You know, I mean, if you're talking about, you know, quad tears or hamstrings or shoulders and things like that, I mean, you look at, okay, what are we doing? You know, preparing our guys. But we've been, you know, our mentality and our strength and our stability comes from the weight room, and that's really shown up. Unfortunately, you get rolled up. You know, what happened to Reese on the, you know, kind of leading the play, and two guys are rolling up on him as his feet are driving. You know, what do you do? I mean, that's really nothing to do with how you prepare and all that. It's just unfortunate. So, but yeah, that's, you know, those guys that have been hurt, and I'll say this, that's why you recruit and you have depth. And I think we do, and I think the guys that have filled in have played really well. And we want to get those guys back as soon as we can. I know they want to come back and play, but you also have to be smart about making sure they're ready to get back out there so there's not a re-injuring of whatever happened.
One of the names you mentioned that might play some is Preciado, who hasn't played, to my knowledge, at all or very little. What's the biggest challenge if somebody comes in, especially in the line, to finding cohesion with people, you know, 7, 8, 9 games into the season?
Yeah, you gotta get in there and get your reps and practice. Really, it's in that type of situation and up front in particular, do your job, do it well, and I think that's the key to those guys being able to come in and have success at a position like O-line and D-line where you have to really work together quite a bit. But they've been doing it, and he's been doing it, you know, in practice. And it's just a matter of him getting a few more reps. Archie Lewis, you know, we've got him in there. You bring Mario back, you can move Archie around as well, but you've also got Andres Preciado to be in there, you know, if something were to happen that way, and he'll be ready to play. You know, it's going to change the amount of actual reps he gets as far as what we're doing offensively, more than scout team, which that's what guys came here to do. They want to play. And I know he's excited about it, and we'll take advantage of it, and we'll see what happens.
You know, one of those guys lost last week, obviously, was Tanner, and Martirano got a chance, and seems like he's been playing well all year in his chances. How did he do the other night, and what kind of stands out about what he brings to your defense?
Joey?
Yeah.
Yeah, he played well. Joey, I mean, he's that linebacker group, we've got very good players in there. And those guys, I've said it before, their preparation, their mentality, just the focus they have, it's a different deal. That's a special group. Joey's no different. He played well. Obviously, Tanner is a very good player for us. We've missed him, him being a little bit dinged up. You know, we'll see where he's at this week. I don't know if he'll be ready to play or not. But Ben Weaver, Joey Martirano, I thought Tyler Gray played well too and really showed up. And Darren Lee, you made some plays in the last game, and he's been a special teams guy, but he was out there on defense and was making plays, and he's gotten better. So between the four of those guys, if Tanner's not in there, we feel good about it. And Leighton Vander Esch on special teams also playing. I think that entire group, you know, we've got some very good players that can step up. Joey is long, athletic. I think his feel, the more he's played this year, you know, and this is just the maturity at any position, his feel has gotten a lot better on what they're trying to do to him and his reactions.
With getting back to Archie really quick, just he filled in last week, and I mean he went against one of the best defensive ends in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Just your thoughts on how he handled that challenge and rose to the occasion.
He did well. He won his fair share of battles. He lost a couple, had a penalty, had one where on an outside zone play got beat inside. It was a good battle against a good player. I don't know if, you know, anybody going against him is not going to lose a few battles that way. So I thought he competed. Really, when it was all said and done, he didn't back down. He got beat, but he got up. He competed. He played hard, and he threw himself out there. And I thought, in my opinion, you know, not perfectly in the technique and maybe assignments, but I thought he played hard, which is what we asked him to do. And that was my request from him, is go out there and accept the challenge, play hard, which is what he did, and then we'll clean the things up this week that he needs to improve on.
You mentioned the early start time at 12:30 Vegas time. When we got to talk to guys about always playing late, they always say they want to just wake up and play. What do you lose, or how do you change things? What time do you get them up? What's kind of the schedule for game day? And this might be a dumb question, but I know you guys have some recruiting areas in Vegas, I guess. Are any of your coaches going to get a chance Friday night to go out and see some games?
Yeah, well, 12:30 in Vegas sounds a little weird, doesn't it, when you ask that? Yeah, it depends on exactly the what I'm talking about when we're playing. You know, it does. You wake up and you play. We've done this before. I think the earliest games we played San Jose State. This is like in '05. It might have been 11 o'clock, and that was it was up. You do your openers. You have your breakfast pregame meal, and you are at the stadium ready to play, which I think will be good. You know, that's a good change up. I think our guys are actually excited about that, to wake up ready to go. We do get in a little bit earlier on Friday so we can get to bed a little bit earlier as well. Coaches will be out. We'll get a chance to go out and see some players while we're there. And that's one thing. With our bye week coming up, we're going to take advantage of that in recruiting, which is huge. But any chance that we get in areas that we recruit that we can get out, we're going to take advantage of it. So we have a few coaches doing that.
Do you know what time you're going to have to wake up on?
I think it's 7. Yeah, I think it's probably somewhere right around there. And normally you have your pregame, you do your openers and some different things. We'll do openers first, pregame, and then you're right into basically getting on the bus and going.
UNLV was not on the schedule last year. I'm sure you saw them a few times as an opponent when you're looking at films. What's different schematically and energy-wise that you can see from last year to this year's Osage?
I really don't have a comparison from last year much. I know what they are this year. And, you know, Coach Sanchez, when he was at Bishop Gorman, did a great job and got a chance to know him. I think he's very good motivator. The guys on his staff have experience. They've coached. And they play hard. They're running the ball. They got a quarterback that can run. They're running the ball. They're being physical on defense. They're aggressive. They'll play man coverage. They will bring pressure. They've got 3 guys up front that are huge and very good players. So to me, I think without comparing them to what they were, I think there's a mentality, absolutely, that they're trying to establish. And no different than us. So, you know, these guys are very good. They've got players that can make big plays and can be explosive, and we have to be better. But I feel good about our guys. I feel like, you know, we're on an upward trend, which we should be as far as getting better. And we need to go out there and prepare that way this week and then have confidence going to the game and go play our game.
Their quarterback situation, obviously, they get their starter back. They lost a couple of tough games without him. What kind of differences do you see in their team with or without Decker back there?
I haven't seen enough to tell you what the big differences are that way. I know he's a good player, but I think they're going to do what they do. And really, it's not about what he's going to do. It's about what we do. It's about coverage. It's about stopping the run. It's about having great eyes and really correcting things that throughout the season we've made mistakes on and making sure that we prepare that way.
Talk about Jeremy McNichols. Not only did he come back last week, but he had 40 touches. Did you ever think he'd have more touches than Ajayi ever did?
Really don't think about that. Guys, it's, you know, we're playing to win. And I think the stat sheet doesn't say once he hits 30 touches, pull him out. He had 7 catches, right? So I think one part of that is, too, he's also a receiver and really can catch the ball as a running back. He's part of the game plan. And as much as we utilized him, we needed that to win. Great to have him back, made plays, made a great catch on the sideline that got reviewed. That was a catch. Ran the ball really hard, bounced outside, showed his speed, took some check downs and had some chips that you guys probably didn't see on the defensive ends that helped in protection because we had 0 sacks in the game and made a difference that way. And I think he's part of that rotation that helps out Kelsey, that helps out those other running backs that come into play.
You usually have players of the game. Did you have any in this game with Wyoming?
We did. Yeah, I chose not to mention them right now. That was Wyoming. We moved on. And I think you probably heard that from the guys that came in here and talked about it too. We're on to UNLV. Wyoming's over. Great win. We're on to the next opponent.